the last thing then for TBC
That
is
is
money. It's money.
obviously it's money. What else would we talk
Money.
about on this show?
Yes. So join millions of players and enter the world of myth, magic, and endless adventure with a 6-month subscription, which will get you the Imp in a Ball toy.
Yep.
Which, look, this is why I say the news video goes up tomorrow, but this is just Blizzard taking what works for monetization in Modern, and they're trying to backport it. And because the trading card game exists, they have a means by which they can do that, right? Where, some of those items were already existing in the game. I mean, a bit different for the mount that they added. That's new, but...
Yeah, they definitely have... It's interesting to me that they're, like, bundling this in alongside the existing promotion for the Lucky Unmount, because obviously that makes sense time-wise and whatnot. But, like, could you imagine if they did this again with a different sub? Because I imagine there'll be a decent amount of people who will think, oh, it's just a little bonus to what this is. It's nothing new. It's just, happy enough TCG stuff. They must be so happy that the TCG stuff is there, that they can actually tear the ass out of it with that.
Yeah, it does make you wonder now. They've done this 3 times. So the Deluxe Edition has got 2 trading card game pets. We now have another trading card game thing. So that's 3 trading card game items being directly monetized by Blizzard. And TBC, by the way, hasn't came out yet. So, what I think is going to happen is every time that the 6-month promo has lapsed and then a new phase comes, they'll probably get another TCG mount. Or TCG. Well, if they did it with a mount, that would be very dramatic. But if they did it with pets and stuff. But that said, if they're willing to dip into the trading card game loot for the sake of monetization with pets, and they're also willing to make a brand new mount for a Deluxe Edition, surely they'll... I guess they're probably not going to touch the Spectral Tiger, because I think they just know that's so big in the community. An X-53 Nether Rocket would not get as much drama.
Yeah.
It would get some, but not as much.
Yeah, they've got the kind of gradation of, it's, I think I have written down here, it's an example of them boiling the frog with the TCG stuff. So they will just go, okay, so, we got good uptick from the Imp, good uptick from the Deluxe Edition stuff. What's next? Here's your Nether Rocket. And then eventually, whenever, I don't even know at what point they would pull out the Spectral Tiger if they ever do, but that would be a really bad financial day for them to have to do that, I think. But it would, my fear is that it would work. And that's kind of the big thing that I kind of alluded to in this document going down further. It's this is, where did they stop with this stuff?
They will stop they will try to get as much ground as they can. They'll keep on trying to push it, and they are absolutely more than willing to push it beyond where a large amount of the community will be unhappy, because they did that in the Modern game, and it worked. I think the Classic community is more sensitive to that, so they're probably not going to be able to push it as hard, but ultimately the numbers do win out. So I think that's basically what is going to happen. Yeah. Now, for a bit of a side topic to this, based on this image you have so kindly put here of the true rebels in our doc for today. Yeah. We sort of bring that up big for them. We all remember this, right? Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Now, I was a big PC player, and, finding out that I would have no dedicated servers, I was pissed. We were all in PC land pissed. And yes, here is a Steam group of people who are going to boycott Modern Warfare 2, brackets, we want dedicated servers, and then the game comes out and you actually look at that Steam group and you see a lot of them are, funny enough, even though they're in the boycott group, they are playing that game. Yep. They're playing Modern Warfare 2. And
if I remember correctly, I'm not sure about the one on the right-hand side, the Modern Warfare 2 boycott, but the We Want Dedicated Servers one is widely circulated as an image, and I believe that was from launch night. That wasn't even people broke over time. They sort of made their way through the picket line. This is just, the line didn't exist on day one, basically.
Yeah. I think the thing here is there are so few people who will quit based on principle. There are so much fewer of those people than people who say they will but actually won't. Yeah. And that's just how it is, because somebody's going to say that out of a position of really caring about the game that they love and not wanting to go down the shitter. But even if that thing happens, but the rest of the game is still playable and they can have fun in it, they're still going to play it. I believe this happened to a streamer on this website called Justin TV. I think his name is Virtual Exchange.
What? Sorry, I'm not following.
Well, you're not aware of Asmongold's YouTube URL. It's a Virtual Exchange spelt incorrectly.
Oh, I didn't know. I never knew that. That's interesting.
But yeah, it was fun seeing Zach get fucking reamed by his community. Not by all of them, but there was a clip on Asmongold TV popped up where he's explaining how, he's going to use the boost. He doesn't want it to be there, but it's an advantage that he can have, so he's going to use it. And it's like a really interesting thing because he's being roasted for being a hypocrite and stuff. I guess it's that sort of thing. Can you advocate? Can you be like, this feature is not good for the health of the game? Then it comes in, you're like, well, now as a rational actor in the world, I'm unhappy that this option is there, but it is rational for me to use it. So then you use it. Like, I wonder how much for him that's in a content creation space where it's like, I think it's a paladin or something he's boosting up, but it's like he wants to be able to play another character, do some other stuff on his stream, but then he maybe doesn't want to have to sit there and do a whole bunch of regular classic leveling on stream. So the boost ends up being of utility. I mean, even from our side, we have spent a decent amount on boosts. It was mainly in Legion for the class review series. And that happened pretty simply. I sat there, I was like, I want a class review video every 2 weeks. Okay, how much time does it take to get a character from the friggin' cap, from the WOD cap to the Legion cap, and then to have enough gear that I can, go heal a Mythic +6 or 7, or, just dabble in some mid-level content. And I realized, well, shit, the only way that I can do this series before, a patch in a bit, basically before Legion is no longer a relevant expansion, is by doing the boost, because the leveling up time would just be too much. It would destroy the whole series. So that's why I use those boosts. So you can sort of see it from a Blizz perspective, I guess. That does sort of make sense to me. But it is interesting. It's like a lot of us would advocate that, some of the matchmaking in World of Warcraft, some of those, things that they ease being able to find people to play with, but they degrade the quality of the connection with those players. A lot of us would say those are bad for the game, but still regularly use them. I think it just gets way more emotional whenever money's involved.
Almost certainly. Like, it is that thing where I think a lot of people felt betrayed by that, because it is basically, advocating for the picket line and then crossing it, I think, is what a lot of people look at it as, without being able to, hold two ideas separately in mind at the same time or something like that.
Yeah, I actually think the two ideas thing's really interesting, because it's like, if you try to erect the picket line and do your protest, but then the business thinks, oh, well, I mean, we don't actually have to yield here, then I guess the perspective of the business will be, okay, we'll catch a bunch of shit, but we're also a corporate entity, so we literally don't care. They'll just be like, just like the Imperium of Man, throw a few, in Warhammer, throw a few friggin' 100 community managers into the fields to get slaughtered by the community. It doesn't matter to the business at the top whatsoever, right? So it is that weird thing where I actually do think that Asmongold in that situation has a holistic, he's got like
holistic, realistic, kind of holistic, important kind of, no.
Basically, his view on that is actually, I think, internally consistent. Logically speaking, it's like he does not want this thing to be in the game. He's going to say that it shouldn't be in the game, but then if Blizzard are going to let that cat out of that bag, then he's like, well, it is here now, so while I would praise them reversing this decision, because this decision has happened, I am going to engage with it because it ends up making sense for whatever sort of reason. And it's a sort of thing where it's very easy to, I think, rage super hard at that whenever you don't have skin in that game. I think actually really understanding the sort of skin in the game concept, not that everybody should go and read Nassim Taleb books, but, is, I think, useful in sort of thinking through this stuff. I mean, it's tricky. I'm not going to use the boost. I may do in the future, but if I do it, it will be for content reasons.